this session, Charmaine and I will be taking us through how to create a very basic digital portfolio for professional purposes. Now, you may ask, what does that have to do with the classroom teaching and what does that have to do with sustainable development? Well, we believe that if we can create our professional portfolios, which showcases what we do and how we do it, it would provide a space for others to see what we do and how we do, something that can be used for future purposes. We also believe that in showcasing how you create such a portfolio, that it can be used not just for us as facilitators, but we also can use it for a variety of other reasons with our students. And so Charmaine is going to start off with us, and then I will continue with this session. Charmaine, are you ready?
How many people have used a digital portfolio? Let's see that. Yes, please share with us.
For me, I would have utilized the digital e-portfolio as part of a capstone project for a graduate program that I was in.
Okay, did you use it as a student?
Yes, as a student.
Okay. Okay, anyone else? Anyone else?
All right, since I had put my hand up as well,
Oh, you did?
I have used the digital portfolio for showcasing my work as a professional, not as a student. So I can't recall having that experience of using it from a student perspective, but I have a digital portfolio from a professional perspective.
Thanks for sharing that, Michelle. So we have two examples of different kinds of circumstances, situations in which a digital portfolio has been used. Now, can you say, either of you, what you see a digital portfolio as? What is it for you? And we have another person in the chat who says, Laura has says she has used it for students to showcase their work. Okay.
All right, so I would say what a digital portfolio is, but because I'm one of the presenters, I will not be going down that route today.
Thank you for not going down that road. Okay, so all right, so let's take another step then. So I'll move to our next slide. You probably will know that digital in the electronic world, you hear of e-portfolios or online portfolios, other names for this kind of portfolio. And it does similar things to what the physical portfolio does in digital format. You collect content, documents, works, presentations, and other materials in digital format. And also, as the physical portfolio does, it tells your story, presented as a group of digital content that works as a presentation. So it's telling your story, whether you're a student, a professional, whatever it is, it tells your story. And what are the benefits of a digital portfolio? And I have 3 benefits here, and I would be really grateful if you could find any others to add here. Yes, the presentation will be shared, and a guide will also be shared at the end of our session. So the benefits are that it documents your personal or professional progress over time. You can add, you can take out, put in new things, and so on. And in the digital format makes it so much easier to share by publishing to those who you want to share this with. Some people have portfolios that are public, shared just widely. Others want to share with a small group, that kind of thing. And the digital media helps to sustain interest, the interest of those with whom you share this portfolio. Can anyone think of any other benefits? What other benefits you think there are?
Well, for me as a student, in addition to those mentioned, it was a good tool to make me engage in a reflective process and in a way to kind of regulate myself in terms of what extent have I attained the learning goals at the end of the because the portfolio I had to collect artifacts from the entire duration of the program, and I was able to look at my when I started and where I am now and kind of trace back and reflect on that process, my growth process. So it did help with the cognitive aspect.
Okay, thank you very much. And that is an important thing that you pointed out, the way it helps you in the reflective process. It makes it easier, I think, to use a digital format for reflecting than, it was for the physical documents. So reflection is another important benefit of using a digital portfolio. Anything else to add?
Well, Olivine is up, and then
Okay.
Laura.
Okay, good.
One of the things as a student, I found that what we learned was my different thinking style from the other students in the class, because in more than one class that they've used this, the lecturers have actually asked me, how did I come up with these solutions? The rest of the class went down one road, I went down another. And that happened more than once. It showed that I really did have a different way of seeing things than the other students. And that actually worked to my benefit, because in trying to think of their way, it expanded my thinking. And I tended to do well in the assignments because I had a broader base of sources, I suppose. I'm still trying to work out why it is that I was so different from others. So it might teach the lecturer what are the different styles, what are different learning styles, what are different thinking styles of the students sitting in the class.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure it out. You
right.
were born that way.
That's right. We're all different. But you are right. It shows the lecturer or the teacher, the different learning styles in a more visual way. And Laura had her hand up.
Yeah, Charmaine. When I used it, the students had to demonstrate their achievement of the program outcomes through the digital portfolio. And one of the things they had to do, as I think Avenel mentioned, is they had to do a reflection, which showed their growth over time in these programmatic areas by giving a piece of evidence, reflecting on it, and then being able to talk about it, for example, in the interview, to show how they had developed over time. So I found it very useful for that. It also gave you a considerable insight into how the student was thinking and how they understood their own growth. And for me, that was a way to point out to the student, yes, you're growing, you're developing, you have changed over this time, and here are ways that you could possibly continue to grow and change over time. So I found it useful for that.
Yes, Deidre, please go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to add about professionals tracking their own growth, not so much about what the students are doing, but as a professional and just keeping track of all the things that you have been engaged in. Sometimes it's so difficult. to remember you don't have these things recorded, and so you struggle to try to recall all the projects that you have engaged in, etc. But if you have the digital portfolio and it's something that you keep updating, then that also helps you as a professional to keep track of those things.
Okay, thank you, Deidre. I see that Dana has said in the chat that depending on the chosen medium, it can also show one's tech skills. And that is true. And it can also show growth in those tech skills as you go along. You know, you can try different things. You look at the portfolios, you know, that others have online and so on, and learn things from them. So yes, that is so. Now, if there's no other, is there any other comment? If not, I've moved on to the next slide. And these are some of the things that one would have in one's portfolio. Here, we're just showing some basic things. Of course, you can call the portfolio whatever you like. You can call the different sections whatever you like. I've just said here, there's certainly one page that tells about you in a sort of basic way. Gives a little biographical information about you. You could upload your CV there. You talk about your philosophy of life, of your professional life, whatever it is. You share the awards you have got over time. There's also work samples, the best projects you've engaged in, those you're most proud of, and other work you have done, descriptions and images, videos, those kinds of things that demonstrate your progress over time and how you reflect. It could be poems that you have written to, about situations, things that you're sharing. And there's also another page for your contact information, your email address, your social media handles, contact numbers, WhatsApp, telephone, whatever it is. And you could have a special page for any other information that you would like to upload or to share that doesn't fit on any of those other pages. And bear in mind that you name these as they are suitable to you. So those are the basic things, right? And that's the end of the presentation part of this. And now you're going to start working, because Michelle is going to take over from me and take you through some actual steps. And then at the end of this process, some of you are going to get the opportunity to show and share your portfolios. So I will close my mic and hand over to Michelle, who will take you through.
Thank you so much, Charmaine. All right, so yes, I am going to be taking us through the practical aspect, but just to remind us that whatever it is that we're doing now is just a very basic thing for you to build on. We also want to point out that the tool that we're using is not the tool. There are a number of tools that we can use to create our digital portfolio. They're paid and they're free. So you would have heard of Google Sites, Wix, WordPress, buying your domain so that you can set up your portfolio there. So bear in mind that there are different platforms and tools that you can use to create your digital portfolio. The other thing that I want to remind us is that we're looking today at something general, but of course you have portfolios for specific purposes, like for promotion, as you would have seen before, and as such, the kinds of sections that you would have there would vary slightly. We're looking at a more general thing. And the final thing that I want to say before we start the work is that the steps that you engage in today are steps that you can share with your students if you intend to have them producing portfolios as well. And portfolio development as an assessment is an authentic area that we can explore, because it means that the likelihood of them simply plugging information into an AI is lessened, minimized. AIs are becoming more and more advanced as we use them. And so for now, we can have the portfolio as an authentic assessment where you can see the history of how the student develops the work and tracks and thinks about what is done. All right, so enough talking from me. Now, one of the first things that we're going to do is that we're going to use Google Sites. Why are we using Google Sites? Google is a low-hanging fruit. A number of us are familiar with Google and the Google different components, and so we're going to be using Google Sites. Using Google Sites means that you need to have a Gmail account. So if you don't have a Gmail account and you can create one rather quickly, I'd appreciate that. If you have a Google account, perfect. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to share my screen. I am using 2 screens. So when you see me turn away a little bit, it means I'm working on the second screen, which is the bigger screen for me. All right. So the first thing that you're going to do, you're going to go to your Google Drive. So you can simply open your browser, and it doesn't matter what browser you're using. So you can open Chrome, you can use Opera, Safari, any browser, and type in drive.google.com to go to your drive. So we just want you to log into your drive. You can see my drive on the screen, but I want you to log into your drive. And Charmaine, Laura, and Althea, I know that you may be working along, but I'm going to need your eyes for the chat, please, and for any raised hands. If you have any challenges, please let us know. We intend to have us all create a digital portfolio by the end of this session. So if you have any challenges, please write in the chat, please raise your hand.
We're right here.
Exactly. All right. So are we all in our Google Drive?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, wonderful. So when you go into your Google Drive, you're going to create a folder. So everything that we're going to put in this portfolio, we're providing you with that. Of course, when you're doing your own, you would have to source your images, your files, and put together. But in the interest of time, we have put together a folder for you that we are going to be using for today. If you're fast enough, or if you're techie enough, you can make changes. But for now, we're working with a similar set of apps. So you can do 2 things to create a new folder. You can click at the new. So please ensure that you're in My Drive. So My Drive will be highlighted, as you can see on the screen here. And then you can click on New. When you click on New, you're going to click on New Folder. Or you can right-click in an empty space and select New Folder. Both take you to the same place. And when you click on New Folder, it will ask for a name. And I'm asking us to type My Digital Portfolio 2024. And then you click on Create. You don't have to worry about saving anything. Everything is automatically saved in your folder, in your drive. When you have named it, you will see the folder right here. I'm just going to change the view to make it easier. All right, so there is my folder, My Digital Portfolio 2024. Have we all created ours? If we need any assistance, please remember we're here.
How do we get
Are we good
the
to move on to the next step?
question? Sorry, but quickly, how do we get it to the top of all the folders that we have? My own was created, but it went in the middle of, well, it went in alphabetical order, it seems. Can we get it to the top of all
Yes.
the folders?
Yes. So if you click on Let me just click off. So if you in your folder, as you see, my folder is a mess now. Right now, it's not at the top. If you click on modified, so you'll see two things. One, I changed the view. So this is what my view looks like before. I simply changed the view to list. So that's the first thing that I did. The second thing that I did was I clicked on modify. So when I click on list, I see type, people, modified. If I click on modified and click on today, because today is the day that I just created it, it will show up there. All right, so it may be at the top or it may be the second one for you or the third.
All right, great.
Oh,
Thank you.
No
Yes,
problem.
but
Go ahead.
yeah, I got it. Thanks.
Okay, great. All right, now I have just pasted in the chat a link to the set of files that you will need. Now, if you click on it, this is what will happen. You don't have to sign in, all right? So if you click on it, it will open the folder just like this, and you will see download all. So I want you to click on download all. It will create a zipped file and put it wherever you want. So please save it in a space where you can easily access it. I'm going to put mine on my desktop. So click on the link that was shared, and then when it opens, click on download all. It has images and text that we will need for our portfolio. So your file should be downloaded, and it more than likely will be downloaded as a zipped file, all right? So what you will have to do, I don't know where yours is downloaded to. I'm just going to share my screen again so that you can see. If you got the option, yours is probably downloaded to your download folder, or it may have been downloaded to your desktop. So wherever it is a what do you call that? A zipped file. All right, which means that all the information is in one folder that is secured. What we have to do now is we have to unzip that so that we can put it in the folder that we just created. Now, I am trying to find my folder, which has the file. So give me 1 second, please. I'm trying to see where it is downloaded to. All right. I'm going to bring my desktop across so that you can see. Just want to minimize this for a minute so that you can see what's going on. All right, so many of us will have a folder on your desktop or in your download folders that look like this, all right? If you right click, meaning you click the right side of your mouse, you can go to extract all. We need to have the files in a separate folder where we can move them around. So extract, if you have a software that will allow you to extract, you can use the software. But when you are finished, what you will get will be this. So this is your zipped file. It has a little zip on it. It means that we cannot just click on it and use the files in the folder like that. And this is the unzipped file, which has the different pieces of information. So when you click on it, it gives you the folder and it gives you all the files. Please unzip your folder. The rest of us, we have unzipped our files, yes?
Yes.
All right, great. So now what we're going to do is we are going to move the files and put them in the folder that we created. Now, there are two ways that we can do that. We can click on, we can open the folder. So I'm opening my folder, as you can see, and I'm opening here. I'm selecting everything. So let me just go select everything. And I am going to drag them over to the folder, all right? So if I can drag and drop, or you can still right click and select file upload, select, look where your folder is, right? So I'm looking for my folder, there it is. and then I can open it, select all, and click on open. So there are two ways that you can bring the files into your folder in your Google Drive. Let's do that again. You can open the folder on your desktop or in your downloads folder, wherever it is, select all the files and drag them to the folder that we created, My Digital Portfolio. So open My Digital Portfolio, drag the files across. Or you can open My Digital Portfolio, right click, select File Upload, select all files and carry them over. Now, why do we need to do that? We are going to be creating our portfolio in this folder, but we need to have all the files that we're going to be using in the same folder so that when we publish it or when we share it, people do not get a message that says file is not accessible. So we want to ensure that all the files we need are together. Now, while you're doing this, let me just give us a little update as to what files are. We have 4 images of males. We're only going to use one, but I tried to give a range so that you could select an image that was closer to your preference. And then we have some text icons, text files. These would work like certificate CVs and so forth. All right. And then we have a sample video and a form, because we did say we would show you how you can add interactivity to your Google Sites. All right, how are we doing? Do we have the files in our folder?
Show of hands.
All right.
I have my files. It says files, 21 files downloaded, but then I also have some other files that I don't even know where they came from off to the side.
In your folder, in your
Yes,
Drive
I have
folder.
Woman 4 JPEG.
Yes.
Show
So those are the ones that are in the folder. So those are the 25. So does yours look any, that's Olivine?
Yes.
Does your digital portfolio look like mine? See, I have all these things in there.
I have them, but no preview available. Connect more apps. When I tried to click on it, but it did show that 21 files are downloaded.
All right. When you say downloaded, we're talking about uploaded at this point.
Uploaded,
So
yeah,
they're
uploaded, yeah.
All right.
Just say that.
And they're in the My Digital Portfolio folder.
I think so. My Digital Portfolio 2024.
Yes. Okay. So it sounds as if we're fine. Once it's in the folder, we should be fine. All right. As we go along, if there's an issue, we'll find that out. Okay.
But where are the Woman 4 and sample video MP4? Where did those come from?
Those were in the folder that was zipped that we just extracted and uploaded.
Okay. All right.
Right. So it sounds as if you have exactly what you should have.
Maybe I have them twice. All right, thanks.
All right. Okay. So now we have our folder that's created and we have the files that we're going to need. Now we're going to start building our sites. All right. So you're going to go up, make sure that you're in your folder that's named My Digital Portfolio 2024. Of course, when you're doing yours, you will name it something different. Click on New. So we're in the folder, click on New, scroll down to More, and click on Google Sites. All right. When you click on Google Sites, it will take you here. Now, you can use a template and the message will come up. It will say you can use a template or you can start from scratch. We're starting from scratch. After you have mastered the basics of what to do, you can always go for a template and tweak a template. But right now, we are giving you the good stuff. So we're starting from scratch. So you should have something that comes up looking similar to what you see here. The very first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to name the site. So at the left corner here at the top, you will see Enter Site Name. You're going to put an appropriate site name. So I'm going to call mine Digital Pedagogies Conference. portfolio. And you can name yours anything you want. So I'm calling mine DPC portfolio. Okay. And then, so all you need to do is click inside. And again, you don't have to worry about saving. All the files are saved. If you click enter, you will see the name appear at the top. So your file, now your portfolio or your website that's going to house your portfolio now has a name. This page that we're looking at, this is going to be your home page. So you can call your home page something. Please don't call it home. So you can say welcome or intro or something like that. I'm going to call mine welcome. All right. So just type inside and type welcome. When you type welcome, you'll realize that you have a WYSIWYG interface. What you see is what you get. So you can click the drop down and you have normal text. So these are if you're using title, headings, and so forth. You have the name of the font that is in use, so you can decide which one to use. And if you click on it, if you select the text and click on it, it changes so that you see exactly what it looks like. Whatever it is that you're going to be selecting, please ensure that you use it throughout so that there is consistency and it doesn't give too much of a playful feel, unless, of course, that is what you're going for. All right, you can change the size, you can make it bold. So there is formatting. There are so many things that you can do right here. And if you don't want any text, you can simply click the trash can, which will delete it. So put something, this is going to be our home page. All right. And there's one more thing that we're going to do with our home page before we move on. So how are we doing? We're good?
Could you just review, please, how you get to open the Google site from the folder that was created?
All right, let me go back. So you go to new, and then you click, so you go to new, you go to more, and then you click on Google Sites. When you click on Google Sites, it will open the thing for you, and then you'll start typing. Yes.
Thank you.
No problem. I saw a hand. That was a hand that was up?
So, excuse me, may I
Yes.
ask? After I have named that site, let us say I put welcome to my digital portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
How do I go into that file from there now? I notice something at the bottom here, image and header type.
Yes, so you don't do anything as yet.
Okay, okay.
All right, so
Thank you.
you're at the right place.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so now we have named our site and we have put a title for our first page. And as Winifred has said, you see header type and image. If you click on header type, it simply tells you what the top part of your page would look like. And if you click on it, it will show you. So if you click on cover, you realize that it fills up the entire page. Large banner is well, exactly what it says, a large banner. Banner is shorter, so you can have less of the page being used. And title only changes it where only the title is shown, so you don't put an image there. All right, so that is for your header type. Where it says image, you can put an image that either runs on all your pages or an image that you change from page to page. So if you click the drop down, you'll have two options, upload and select. You can upload images if you don't like the ones that are there. We're going to simply do select now. So if you click on select, it opens a menu for you and you have the gallery. You can select by URL, Google Images, if you have Google Images, Photos, Google Drive. So we're going to work with the gallery and just select, scroll and select any one of these that you want to use as your image and click on insert. You will see that the image changes on your page. So go through, select anyone, you have a minute. All right. Have we selected an image for our home page? You don't have to open the mic, just a thumbs up will do. So are we good? Can we move on? Great, we are moving on. So this is our home page, and we are going to be creating 4 pages for this one, all right? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to move across to the top where it says insert pages and theme. So let us go to pages first. So click on pages, and you'll see home. Home is there because it is the only page that is created. So by default, that's our home page. We're going to add 3 more pages. We're going to add a page that's called bio or about me, whatever you want to call it, Medea. Then we're going to create one that we'll call my works or my projects or sample or whatever you want to call it. And then we are going to create one that we'll call contact. Okay, so we're creating 3. How do we do that? At the bottom, you'll see a plus sign. When you click on the plus sign, you'll see some icons. But right at the very bottom, you'll see new page. Just click on the icon. Don't try to click on the text. Just click on the plus sign that has that little icon. When you do that, a window will come up that will say new page. And for this one, I'm gonna put about me. All right. And then you click on done. We're going to do the same thing for 2 more times. One that will say my works and one that will say contact. And if I'm going too fast, please let me know.
Dr. Stewart, I've just discovered the pages part. So I don't know if you just want to go it over quickly for me.
Not a problem. All right, so when you go to pages, you will see home. Home is the one that is there by default. And in order to create more pages, we'll go down to the plus and we'll simply click on the icon that's at the bottom that says new page. Of course, you'll realize that we can insert other things,
Right.
but right now we're simply just adding a new page. When we click on the new page, window will come up for us to put the name of the page, and then we click done and it will reflect up here.
Okay.
That works?
Yes, thanks.
No problem.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So your Google site is coming into be your digital portfolio. You can start seeing the different parts that your audience will be looking at. So there is the home, there is the about me, there is the my works, there's my contact. Now, before you ask, let me
Michelle.
preempt. Yes.
See the part
ahead.
at all.
Sorry. I was helping somebody and missed the last thing.
Which was
How
what?
did we get the headings out there at the top?
We created pages. So you
Okay, great.
and then you write. Now, let us say that you want to have contact before my works, or you realize that you have a page that you don't need anymore. How do you reorganize? So let's reorganize. So let us say that I wanted my works to be in front of about me. I simply select it and move it. All right. I just did something wrong. All right, let's do that again. So I click on my works and I drag it, move. All right, I drag it to where I want it to go. All right, so it's subsuming it as a thing. That is not supposed to happen. All right, let's do this again. I select it and I drag. There we go. So I can drag it to where I want it to go. And there it is now the first thing there. Of course, you wouldn't want contact to be your first thing, but I'm just showing you that if you wanted to move it around, that is what you would do. So I'm putting my contact back at the bottom because that is where it should be. All right, so let's get into adding information. Now, if you click, you will realize that because you named the pages, that's what they're called. You can rename home if you will, if you want to. All right. So in order to rename the home page, you can simply click, click, and it will come up and I'll put welcome. So I can rename it so it doesn't say home, it says welcome. So that is something that you can do as well. All right. Now on the welcome page, we are about to put some information, a picture of ourselves. So this is where we're going to choose from the pictures that we uploaded, right? A picture and some text. Okay. So let us go back to insert. So we go back to insert, and you'll realize that to the right, there are a number of things you can insert. You can insert text box, images, you can embed files, you can get information from your drive. And then below that, you see content blocks. Now, content blocks are pre-made templates. So they're already holders for you. If you select one, you then drop your image in, drop your text in. And the most popular one tends to be the image and text block, but you have more, you have a number of them. So we're focusing on the content blocks, and we're going to select the first one. I'm selecting the first one. So if you click on it, it appears right under your header. All right. Yes, Veronica, go ahead.
Sorry to disturb you. I'm wondering how permanent is the content block we choose. So if I choose this content block and decide I want a different format, would I need to re-enter all the information again or just change it around?
I don't know. Let us find out together. I have never tested it because normally I plan out on paper exactly what I want to do. So I've never tested it, but let us try it out today. All right. Okay, so this is the one that I want to use for now. You'll realize that there is a plus sign. So when you click the plus sign, it will want you to insert the image, because what we have selected is the image text block. So you can upload, you can select the image, you can go to Drive, you can go to YouTube, you can do a number of things. So we're going to select image because we already have uploaded it and it's in the folder. We could also go to Drive, but let me show you with select image. When you click on select image, it gives you this. So you'll see recent Drive shared with me. If you go into Drive, you would then have to look for your portfolio that you created. What was the name of the portfolio again? Oh, what did we call the portfolio?
My Digital Portfolio 2024.
All right, so why am I not seeing mine? Oh, here it is. So here is my folder. And if I click on it, I will look for an image. So I'm a female. I'm looking for an image that represents me. I like this lady over here. So I'm going to use, I like this lady with the back. All right, so this is me. So what you're going to do, you're going to look for an image. If you're a female, you put a female image. If you're a male, you select a male image. You can be white, Hispanic, Asian, anything you want to be today. Just select an image. All right. And when you click on it, you'll realize that, well, in this one, the head of the lady cut off. So I just simply grab the circles that are on it. They will help me to resize. And I just pull it down a little bit. That suits me. All right. So that's it for my image. On the right where it says click to add text, I will click to say, welcome to my portfolio. Welcome to, I'll just say my life. I'm doing my life. My professional life, maybe not. All right, so we're doing something professional. And then of course, you can also decide whether or not you want this to be bold, if you want to center it. So if you click the drop down, the more icons as ellipses, you can do other things. So this is what mine is looking like so far. And then where it says click to add text, this is where you can add some basic information about yourself. So it's a welcome page, so you don't have to go in too much details. One of the files that I gave you is says sample files. So what I'm going to do, I just opened it on my computer. I am copying the dummy text to put in the folder so that I don't have to worry about writing text. So I'm just going to paste this so that the information is in, and it is not pasting. It is not working with me at all. Right. So this is where some general information goes. I don't know why it's not pasting, but right. So you'd probably say, welcome. I'm excited to have you here in this portfolio I have showcased, and you just give a general thing. All right. So you put that there. It's gonna be a little bit easier if we have the lorem ipsum text. So I am just going in where I can copy and paste. All right. So for us to not spend so much time typing from scratch, I am putting the information here. All right. So there we go. So this is my first page. I like what it looks like so far. How are you feeling about yours? You're loving yours as well?
Very much so. My face is on it.
Ah, nice. There you go. There you go. All right. So now we go across to about me. And the more you do this, the more you realize that, okay, I'm getting better at this. Now, on the About Me page, we are going to put up our CV. So I have a sample CV, a certificate that we got, and an icon saying my story. All right. So we can this is where we can test the 2-page thing, Veronica. So I'm going to select the 2 image, and there is text. Oh, I'm sorry. I am going to put a text box first. So my text box is going to say here, oh, I have my Ipsum. So it says, here you can learn more about my personal journey, my CV, my skill sets, and so forth. So that is what the text here says. And then, of course, this last thing here says, you will find more information below. So below, I am going to put the content folder, but I want a divider between the two. So I scroll, I'm still under insert. I scroll down to divider, and a divider will come up here. And then I will put my content after. So you notice that it comes after the divider. All right. So let us put an image in and put some text. So I'm going to put my CV. No, I'm putting an image first. So I'm going to put an image, an icon, which is going to link to my CV. So let's put this, the doc icon. All right. And then I will resize it so that I can see it better. There we go. And then I'm going to put below my CV. My CV. Click here to read more. All right. And this is where I'm going to put a link in that when they click on it, it will open my CV. All right. So I select the text here, and then I go up to where it says insert link. I click on that, and then it will ask me, oh, I need to do the page. All right. So sorry. So this is one of the things that we'll have to do. So I'm going to my folder. I am going to my folder that has all these things, and I'm looking for my CV. Here is my CV. I'm going to right click on my CV, go down to share and copy link. All right. Then I go back to my portfolio and then click back on the link and I paste that. All right. And I click apply. Now, how do I know if it worked? Okay. If you go up to the very top here, you'll see preview. If you click on it, preview will give you a preview of your page so far. And then you'll see these different icons at the bottom. They will let you see what it looks like if you access it on a phone, on a tablet, or on a computer. All right. I just want to find out right now if I click on this, if it will open my CV. It does. So there is my CV. So I know it works. So one of the things that you will have to do is to ensure that you keep testing to make sure that the links work. To come out of that, you simply click the X. Did I go too fast there?
Dr. Stewart, can you
Please call
kindly,
me Michelle.
Art Mission, can you kindly go over how you develop the link? I think I missed that.
All right. So because in order to insert the link, it is assuming that I have a URL. What you do is you go to your folder, your drive, go to the folder that has the file that you want to link to. Right click on it, go down to share, and then go across to copy link.
Oh, you copy it right there.
Yes. And then I went back to the portfolio and
Excuse me, please. You didn't have to develop a link. That link will just come up itself.
It will,
when you put
yes.
the share.
Yes.
Okay, that's the part that I missed.
All right, great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And on the second section, I am going to put my certificate because I have a certificate that I want to showcase under my my About Me page. So I am looking for the, it's easier if I go into the drive. So I am looking for, what was the name of the thing I'm looking for? The certificate. So there's a certificate here that I'm not seeing. Ah, maybe I did not upload everything. All right, I don't think I uploaded everything. So I'll pretend that this is my certificate for now. All right, I click on my certificate and then I can resize it so that everybody can see my certificate good and nice. All right.
Question,
Go
Michelle.
ahead. Go ahead.
All the files that I want to add to the portfolio must be in the drive. Is that correct?
Ideally, but they don't have to be, but it makes it easier for you to access it when it's there in the file. You'll notice that you had an option to upload. All right. So if I had selected upload, it would assume that it is not in the folder and then would ask me, where would I find this file? And then I would have to go and look for it wherever it is on my folder or on my desktop or in my downloads, wherever
Right.
it is, and then I'd select it. So you
Great.
don't have to have everything in your drive, but it makes it easier.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Is there
Oh.
any way I can get assistance about that extracting difficulty that I have?
I am going to allow us to work on our
Okay.
pages, and then I will come to you right
Oh,
after. All
great.
right.
Thank you.
I'm not sure why you're still not able to extract, but
Okay.
let us start. Okay,
Sure.
so this is on my About Me page. On my works, I am going to put on my works page a video that I have because I'm showcasing the work that I have. Now, this time, what we're going to do is that we are going to go straight to the drive. So I am going to have a text box because I want to have something that speaks to my video. So I'm going to say, this is my first and best piece. All right. And then I probably do that. And I go to Drive because I'm still on the insert. So I go to Drive and I'm going to insert my video. All right. So I'm going to the folder, my digital portfolio 2024. And there is the certificate that I was looking for. And now I am looking for the video, and there is my video, it's my sample video. So I click on it and I click insert. All right. And there, my video comes up. All right, so I'll click share so that whoever is accessing can see it. All right, and I resize my video a little bit, and then I can probably resize the text and put it beside. So I just drag it down so that it comes beside my video. And then, of course, if I wanted to put some more information about my video, I just put the information there. And I don't have to save, but I want to preview it. So I'm going to click on preview. My video is there. I'm testing if it works well. So I'm pressing play. One thing that you may want to consider is including a video for your audience. Now, videos are ideal because they help your audience to absorb the information much better. The other thing that they do is that they increase your user engagement. When you use a video, it gives your audience information about who you are and what you do. And in these ways, it is telling your audience more about you. Consider inserting a video. All right, so that is giving you a little bit of information on how you can create a video. So on my works, I'm giving you some work. Include whatever it is you want from the folder. So you can put the video in, you can put the flyer in, but I am giving you 4 minutes to insert some things on the My Works page and on your contact page. Okay, you think you can manage that on your own? Challenge accepted?
We think so, Miss.
All right.
Michelle,
Yes, yes.
just a question. If you want to go back to the page where you're introducing yourself, if you don't want to insert a link to a document, but you want to actually insert the document itself. Say, for example, you just wanted to upload your CV.
All right. So let me show you. So I go back to me. I don't want this at all. So I'm going to remove it. All right. I don't want this. I just want the document. Oh, there are so many things I'd put here. So to get my document, you remember how we just inserted the video? That is how we would insert in the document. So I go to Drive. I'm on the insert. I look for I go to the folder that I'm in, my digital portfolio 2024. And I'm looking for the thing that says sample CV. As soon as you see it, you let me know. There it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And
All
it's
right.
a
So I
PDF.
click on it. Yes, it's PDF, but it can be a Word document. And then I click insert. All right. And then I resize it so that if they want to read it right here, they can read it. So it will, if I have several pages, it will allow me to scroll. It will allow my viewers to scroll. And it also will give them the option to open it in a new page. So that's how you would insert the document without having to, so let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to preview, I'm on the About Me, and there it is, my sample CV. And that's all my CV. So you can scroll and see all the information that's there.
So below the divider, once you put the divider in, right? So you have your text box, then you put your divider in. On the insert, you're simply going to go to Drive.
Yes.
And
then you
pick
look
up
for
whatever document.
Exactly.
Now, suppose the document is not in your Drive.
All right.
How do you...
So if your document is not in your Drive, this is where I would advise you to put it in, because if it's not in, when you attempt to upload it, and because you'd have to upload it at this point, when your viewers click on it, they may get a message that says not accessible, error not found, or something like that.
So in truth, as you were saying before,
It's
really
better
do
for
need
you to
plan
have
it out
everything. Yes.
and have everything that you're going to be putting up there so you can easily access it from the Drive.
That's correct. And when we share the guide with you, you'll realize that we have several stages. So the first stage is planning, and then the second stage is populating. And so in the planning stage, we tend to say to you, get a book, put your information in it, plan it out. Or if you prefer to use digital tools, you have these different tools that will help you to plan out what it would look like. And then you put them together. So yes, the planning is very important.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
so
you
with
very
all
much.
that talking, did we put information in the other slides? Or you need a minute more? All right.
Anybody want to show quickly in the meantime?
Sure. I could share if you like.
Okay. Wonderful. Let me stop sharing and you go ahead. Let's see what you have.
cognizant of the fact that this is the preliminary stages.
That is fine. That is fine.
That is absolutely fine because you'll be working on it after you leave here anyway, and we'll see you published somewhere.
All right. So we see you have welcome and you have your professional collections. Nice. Let us see how many pages you have. So you have your about me and you have nice. You're putting it together. So what you realize is that the more you do this, the easier it becomes. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. And I see you put your video in command.
Okay, you're welcome.
Anybody else wants to share just very quickly before we go back? I think we have time. Yes, we have some time. Anybody else wants to share? Oh, come on. Nobody else?
Chicken.
I only have a first page.
That's fine. Let us see what your first page looks like.
All right. Give me a second. Let me preview. I'm just learning from the other person.
Nice.
That you can do different backgrounds on different pages. So I'm going to try that. But at the moment,
on different pages, yes.
Yes, I just have the same background across all of them, but I'm gonna try.
And that's fine. That's fine. All right. That is fine.
Where do we press for share? I had it just now and can't find it anymore.
If you want to share, you would need to look at the bottom of your Zoom where you see that little green thingy that says share. Are you seeing
on that one?
Yes.
I thought it was on the page of itself that I developed.
No, we haven't reached there as yet. We're getting there very quickly.
Okay, well, okay, just
Or
give me 1 minute.
no. So we're assuming that all my
Mhm.
pages have information in them, and I am happy with what I have so far. And I want to put a kind of interaction for my readers. And so I am going to create a page that I am going to call. Okay, I see. Who is it sharing?
Has been friend.
Okay, so you have welcome to my digital portfolio. I would make my welcome to my digital portfolio a little smaller so that it doesn't take up all of 4 lines, and then probably make it bold if you want it to be pronounced.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. And I see that you have your other page. Nice. Very nice. Very good. All right.
But
So
I don't know
you
why
are-
2 pictures came up instead of 1. I didn't
So
click
if you
both
click on
of
it,
them.
you just delete the one of them,
Okay,
the one
good.
that you don't need. So you click the trash can to delete the one you don't want.
Mhm.
All right.
Oh, good. That's enough for now. Thank you.
You are most welcome.
Mhm.
All right. So I'm going to go back to sharing. Colleagues. Okay. So let us assume you should be seeing. So let us assume that we have everything. So I have all the information that I want on all the pages that I have. And now I want to add something for my readers, my visitors to engage in an activity. So for this one, I want to encourage them to sign up for a membership, a society, yes? And I want to create the page, but I don't want it to be shown in the menu. So we are going to go back to pages, click on the new page, and I will call it, and this, I must tell you, this I got from Claude. I got a little help from Claude in coming up with this form. So Ponder Ground Society registration. So there is a society registration, I can spell. There is a society that's called the Ponder Ground Society where they believe in jokes and puns and laughter. All right. Now here it is, the Ponder Ground Society, but I don't want it to show here. But I'm going to put my my information in, and then I'm going to hide this from the main page so that it doesn't show in the lineup. I'm just making this a little smaller so that it fits like that. And just making the text a little bit smaller, probably too small. All right, so I can work with that. Okay, so this is where I'm going to include the, what's that? The form. All right, so here I am on the page. I go back to insert. Anytime you're going to put something in, ensure that you're on the insert. And then I'm going to scroll down to where it says Google Forms. All right, because I want them to engage with a form. So we have a form in our folder, so we're good to go. So we go to forms, we scroll on to form, and you will see the form. It will come up. All right, so I'll click on it and click insert. And voila, it comes up right here. All right, I'm just scrolling down to make sure that everything shows. So I'll just do a little bit of adjustment. So I'm bringing it down. So and I want to ensure that my submit shows. All right. Now I had a header image that doesn't show here. So what I do is that I'm going to remove the text that I have there, delete the box, and where it says image, I'm going to change it to my Ponder Society. All right, so here I click on Google Drive because that is where it is. And then I go back to my digital portfolio and I look for my header, which is right here, the Ponder Ground Society. All right, and there it's adjusting. All right, and then of course I test it. So I go to preview. Yes, I like it. And then this means that my participants can respond to my interactive form that I have here. So I'll close this. No, I don't want it to show on my timeline. So I go back to pages and I make sure that I select the one that I don't want to be shown. All right. And I simply click on hidden. All right. Hide from navigation. So when I do that, please notice that the page still exists. It's just not shown here. All right. Now, on my works page, I want to tell them that they should click here if they're interested in registering for the Ponder Society. So, and on my insert, I am going to insert a text that says, click here to register for the Underground Society. You won't regret this. So it's a call to action or whatever it is, you won't forget this, you want to do. All right. So believe me, I can spell. All right. All right. And then I want it to be a little in your face. So I am going for, let's go for Oswald. Let's change it to, I said Oswald. Right? Let's go for impact. And then I'll make it a little bigger. And then I'll center this. All right. And then I'll probably, and let's put this in a different color. And then now I will put my link. Now you realize that you see the Ponder Ground Society, even though it doesn't show. So I can do my link. All right. And I test it. So if I really want to find out if it works, here I am on my works page. It says click here to register. When I click here, it opens it and then I can do the form. All right, isn't that nice? And this is Google. So this is one of the things that you can do. You can put a map in, you can put a poll in, you can put a form in, and you keep everybody on the same place, putting in the information. Now, one more thing before we go. We were talking about reflection, whether or not you're doing this for as a student, if you're doing it for promotion, if you're doing it simply to showcase
Ask
your
one
profession.
question, if you don't
Yes,
mind.
go ahead,
I
please.
actually never saw how you added the Underground form.
The form?
I know it came from the Google Drive, but did you open a new page?
No. So well, yes, we did. We created a
And you
page,
just
the page
inserted.
that we wanted it to go, right? And then we go insert and scroll down to Google, to forms.
Form. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
But of course, we had created the form before and we had it in our
Yeah, ma'am,
Google
yeah, ma'am.
folder.
I
All right,
appreciate
great.
it. Thank you.
No problem. No,
I'm not seeing it in the Google folder. I'm not sure if I missed it.
you're not seeing it?
No, let me double check.
Please. Because everything should have been together. Did anybody else not see the Google form?
Yes,
I
it's
didn't-
not, it's not
not there.
showing everything when you go insert, just the images and the PDF.
When you go insert and scroll down to form.
Yeah.
Did it give you an option when it opened? Did it give you an option to search? So what you'll realize, so I'm clicking, it says recent. So what you may need to do is oh, this is showing me all my forms. I have it, so I'm not having an issue. Did anybody have an issue with finding the form?
Yes, it wasn't in my.
Yes, I'm not seeing it either.
It doesn't seem to be in the folder.
I just used a form I had.
You used a form. Okay, my apologies. It seems as if the link that I shared with you, it did not have the form. But somebody said that you used the form that you had before and it worked?
Yes.
Yes, that
It
works.
should work. Okay, my apologies, my sincere
And
apologies for that.
Sorry, would you be able to go over how you hid that particular tab?
Yes, so on the pages, after we created it, this is the page. I'm gonna unhide it, all right, so that I can hide it for you. So you click on the page that you want to hide, you click the 3 dots beside it, and you simply scroll to where it says hide from navigation. So you can have a site that has several pages and most of them don't show. You just have to ensure that somewhere on the pages that do show, you have something that says either an image, an icon, or text that says, click here to view this particular page or this particular activity, as I did here in my works. I simply have click here to register. So you could probably have a header, you could probably have an image that they click to go to that hidden page. All right. Okay. So one last thing here, and then we publish and share. And yes, I have 9 minutes more. So here we go. The theme. So you can decide, Google has very limited themes, but you can change your theme. So currently I have something that looks like this. Let me go back to my home page. If I click on themes, it gives me the different themes that are there with some colors. So currently I'm on simple with the teal. If I change it to pink, you'll notice that some things change. So that is for the colors. If I change to Aristotle, this is what my layout, my theme looks like. And then of course I can change the different colors. If I go to diplomat, this is what it would look like. So you can also use the themes to spruce up what your site would look like. It's not a lot, but it does work. All right. So that is one of the things that you can also think about when you're putting your theme to your site together. Once you select a theme, it's the same theme that runs right across all the pages that you have. Okay. And then the last final thing that we're going to do, yes, the last final thing, we are going to publish our site. We're going to make our site available so that other people can see it. All right. So we go to publish. Now, if you don't want to publish it and you want to share it with somebody so that they can take a look at it and give you feedback, you would use this little icon here, that little person with the plus sign that says share with others. So when you click on that, it gives you the option. So it tells you who is the owner, and you can type in somebody's name. So I'm going to share this with Charmaine. So I put Charmaine's name in, and then please note it will say that Charmaine is an editor. If you only want her to view, you then select publish to viewer. All right, but I want Charmaine to fool around and show me what things are, so I leave it at that. And then I click send. So it's like when you share a Google file, it's the same principle. So now it's shared with Charmaine. So she can go in and she can take a look and she can, you know, change a color theme, that sort of thing. So what Charmaine has is exactly what I have. So she can also go and preview it to see what it would look like. If I want to, if I'm finished and I'm satisfied and I go through my pages and I test it and I'm happy and I said, oh, yes, I am ready, then I go up to publish. All right. Now, for publish, it will ask you to name your site. If you're happy with your doc, I called mine DPC portfolio, you leave it at that. So your site, it gives you a preview of your site. That is what your site would be called. All right. When it comes down to who can view your file, anyone can view it. All right. But you can manage that. So you have a link that will allow you to manage that. And then, of course, you can decide, will the draft be anyone with the link or will it be restricted that only the people with the link can share it? And when you publish the site, will it be published as public or restricted? Public means anybody can view it. Restricted mean only that select group, as Charmaine had said in the beginning, only that select group of persons can see it. And then, of course, you can remove the link. If you're happy with that, you leave it as it is. Now, down here where it says search settings, depending on where you are in your professional career or what it is you're doing with your students, you may not want search engines to find your site. If you're about professional visibility, transparency, showing who you are as an academic or showcasing your students' work because you want the information to be searchable and accessible, then you would select request public search engines. Well, you would not select request public search engines not to display my site. Okay, so if you put in the name of the site in Google, you wouldn't find it. All right, so you would have to select this for that to happen. If you don't select it, I can find you. Of course, if you're doing this with students, we have to think about the ethical implications and the security issues. You have to ensure that you follow protocol. You see what exactly what the university says. You think about using faces and names, ID numbers, that sort of thing. So you go through the proper channels if you're doing this as a student. But enough of me. Let me click publish. So when I click publish, it goes through a little thing, and your site, when published, you can still update it. The minute you make changes, the changes are live. All right. So when you click publish, it will tell you that your site is published. How you know? When you click the drop down now, it will tell you that you can view the published sites. And I give you one better. Let me view the published site. So this is what you would see. In fact, anybody can do a search now for DPC portfolio, and you should be able to find my site. All right. But this is what the complete thing would look like. And it looks beautiful. The welcome page says what a bit. My about me page gives me information about me. Shows my CV, shows my journey, my works, and you're looking at this and you're saying, oh my goodness, this person's really accomplished. And you watch the video, you read the pieces of information, you look at all the samples that are there. And then, of course, when it goes on to contact, you see the contact information, and you notice that there was something on the page about a underground society. So you said, I'm curious about that. You click on it. And voila, you said this person is good. There is an application form where I can join the society and I sign up for it and I'm good to go. All right. Now I'm going to close that. That's a live page. If I don't want it to be published as yet, and I simply tested that, I can simply go to unpublish and it is no longer available through the search engines. All right. Any questions? My time is not up as yet, but any questions where putting together your portfolio is concerned?
I had a question on the site address.
You had a question on what?
The address?
Yes.
For the site?
Yes.
Is there a unique address for the site, or it's simply just the title you gave it at the right?
Well, depending on what it is you have. Sometimes it will tell you it's a great name, but it's already taken. So you actually have a unique. Each site that you put in, each site address is unique. So if you were to put in if I had published and you were to put in DPC portfolio and it tells you that your unique site will be called Google Sites / that's that DPC portfolio, before you click publish, it will tell you this is a lovely name. Unfortunately, it's already taken. You have to come up with something else. So the name is unique. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
All right, one last thing, if you're still seeing my screen, you can add a footer. So if you pass the cursor down to the bottom and click on add footer, this is where you can put in some information about that runs on all your pages. So I can simply put created by, and I put my name, and I probably put my title, all right? Faculty developer. All right, and then I probably want to center that. I'm sure that's not spelled correctly, but just showing you. All right, so I can center that, and there, if I do that, and I can put a color just for my thing. Oh, that is bright. So you can just look at it and decide, and that's all right, I'll go for the bright one. And it also has to do with the theme that I have selected. So as you can see, depending on the theme, it changes. All right, and then you have the bucket that you can. And if I preview, you'll realize that the footer is on all my pages, because that is the idea of what a footer is. So you can put some information that you want your audience to see that runs on all the pages. Please do not put your personal email address unless you have an email address and you want that. And please do not put your personal contact number, because you need to be mindful that people may be calling you on that number. So be careful about what it is that you put on your footer or on your site, on your site overall. All right, so I am stopping here, but as I promised, we are sharing with you, so you have access to the folder, but we're also giving you access to a guide that gives you step-by-step. I'm coming with the hands. Let me just post this, please. Step-by-step guide rails on how you can create a basic site. All right, so I see Faye's hand up. Go ahead, please.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful presentation, giving me so many ideas, but let me run this by you. If I'm to use this for my students who are doing their practicum to submit their final reflection, but the thing about it is that we do have a deadline by which you have to submit that. Is there any way that that can be implemented in terms of the deadline? Because I'm seeing if you're not completed by a certain time, but I do not get to grading, you know, within a time frame, you can still be working on it, even though the deadline has passed. Is there any way to control that aspect?
Yes. So when you create so let us say that you want your students to use these as assignments. You would create one folder in which they would put their respective folders. What you do is you remind them in class, but you also tell them that after X date, you will no longer have access. So what you would do is one of two things. You remove the access, the sharing access to everybody. So where you share, you simply remove everybody. So at that point, nobody can upload to the folder. Or you change it to simply viewing so that they can see what is there, but they can't upload or do anything about it. So there is a workaround about it. I don't know at this point. I checked some time ago, it wasn't available. If you could put a timer on the folder. To date, I don't think that is possible. I don't know if anything has changed since the last time, but those are two workarounds. Does that answer your question?
Certainly. Thank you very much, Michelle.
You're welcome. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, Charmaine and I would like to thank you very much. We hope that you have learned something. We hope that you'll be able to create your portfolio or have your students create portfolios, and that this is something that you will see as useful, not in just this session, this academic year, but as we move on in our academic growth. Thank you very much.